help
have a good
people help
story.
you. Right.
One of the first product designers I replaced, he was a student of way back when Rover used to be called Dog Vacay in New York City. I had been dog sitting this golden retriever mixed dog, which I love. And the woman, the owner, she and I just would talk all the time. She used to be an English teacher. And then I told her what I did. And she introduced me to her student, who has now become, I've placed him several times as a product or UX designer, which is just very weird. Like, love that stuff.
I love that. I love that. And I was listening to a great podcast. It's called Hidden Brain. It's an NPR podcast.
Yes.
And I forget the name of the episode. If I remember it, I'll put it in the comments in the chat once we put this in the live stream or the replay. But it was basically that people fear that strangers don't want to talk to them, especially now in the age of iPhones where everybody's just in their phones all the time. But I think people are actually really craving that connection. And that people don't mind as much as you think they're going to mind. In fact, they might very much welcome you starting up a conversation. Like, I think we all crave connection. And I think
Totally.
we're really lacking that connection, like the Design Unfiltered event. And Rebecca, I'm so glad you came. That was so nice to have you there. But I mean, Jared and me and Erica the whole time were just like, wow, like we really feel like we're getting so much information from this UX design community that they are craving in-person connection. Let's give them an opportunity to all come together. And there's just nothing like it. And, you know, people can come alone. Like, I think people get intimidated to go alone. But I think if you can just go and just think to yourself, like, what do I have to give to this situation? Not like, how are people going to judge me? Or like, you know, sometimes I think we can get that spotlight effect. Like this happens when I travel alone and I'm going out to dinner by myself, which I always hate doing because I'm just like, everybody's looking at me as a single woman eating alone. I look like a pariah. But it's like, nobody's really looking at you. And if they are and they're judging you, then who cares? You're never going to see them again anyways.
Right.
But I think just going in with the belief, because I think it actually is true that like people want to hear from me, people want to talk to me, and people want to connect. And I think that's a much different energy of like, oh God, I don't know if I want to interrupt them and like, who am I to say this? It's just you're going to come with a different energy.
Yeah. Humans are social creatures. Like we do need interaction. I mean, yes, you can be an introvert for sure, but we do crave other people and talking to other people. I mean, the other day I was walking home and a woman next to me on the crosswalk like smiled, or I guess I smiled at her, and she had said hi to all these people and nobody reacted or responded. And then because I was looking at her and smiling, she was like, "Oh my God, you have such a great smile. Thank you for smiling at me. Like, how are you today?" It's like 9 in the morning. So we walked a few blocks together. Me and a total stranger.
Wow.
So I don't know. I like to challenge people to try to talk to somebody completely different. Like if you're sitting on a bus, talk to the person that is next to you.
Yeah. It's a little Duff homework, a little Design Unfiltered homework for those who choose to take it on. Talk to a random stranger this week and let us know how it went.
Well, in places like New York City is like, I love New York. And if I suddenly, you know, came into money, I'd go back in a heartbeat. But it's a city full of main characters. No one's thinking about you. Everybody's a main character in their own story. So, you know, if you just have that mindset and also that it's New York where you can be whoever you want because nobody cares. Like, do you think that guy that wears the diaper and plays the flute and stomps around the street cares what you think about him? I don't. And if you like think about the way that you interact with those people, it's like you clock that he's there, but like whatever, you know, you don't think about it afterwards.
Right. We don't even care about the most extreme characters, so we're not going to really be thinking about.
No, I always have to tell my mom, like, don't look too hard unless you want to get involved. Like, it's fine.
You know, and on the other hand, absolutely like that thing, if you're feeling self-conscious going, I'm really not that important in these people's worlds. They're not looking at me. They're not judging me. On the other hand, if you wear something a little fun, a little quirky, flag in some way that you have some kind of conversational piece, especially at a networking event, or an event, a party, anything, it invites conversation. It invites people having a opportunity to tell you something or to talk to you. And I have found that so helpful to do. Okay, I'm gonna plug my new purse, but you'll understand why in a second. So I have this, well, I can't see it. It has like a gigantic tiger face on it. And people come up to me all the time to talk about this thing. So if somebody was like, oh, Rebecca, you know, she's a recruiter. I don't know if I can talk to her. What's my opening? You know, if you're wearing some interesting shoes, you know, or something, people going up and being like, wow, I love your shoes. You're in for that conversation.
Think about how many friendships have happened because a woman has a dress with pockets.
So
Okay,
true.
tell me more. Tell me more.
Like as soon as, oh, I like your dress. What's the first thing that somebody said? It has pockets.
It has
Thank
pockets.
you. How many times has that been the start to a conversation? It has pockets.
It's so true. Yeah. I just read something about a wedding dress that has pockets.
You're absolutely
A wedding
right.
dress. Oh wow.
Yeah.
My friend's wedding dress had pockets. I don't have pockets, and I feel lost.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
fun. You know what I do when somebody compliments me on my things? If I got it on sale or I feel like I got a really good price for it, I just tell them like, oh my God, I got it on sale at blah, blah, blah. It was the best thing.
I love that.
So pulling this back to design too, at wearing something a little designy at a design events is like a natural fit.
Totally.
It's like
Yeah.
peanut butter